Hello and welcome back to Art for Change, Day 8, Demigender. A demigender person is someone who partially aligns with one or more genders. Some examples of demigender identities are demigirls, which are people who partially align with being a girl, demiboys, who partially align with being a boy, and demi-non-binary, which is someone who partially aligns with being non-binary. There are also more. The prefix demi means to partly or partially. The biggest way people show their demigender is through gender expression, which is the way a person shows their gender through how they look and act. The biggest oppression that comes to demigender people is invalidation and people not knowing what demigender is. LGBTQ Nation puts it like this: you won't find demigender definition in Merriam-Webster Dictionary or dictionary.com, unfortunately. This is because demigender is a relatively new term and has only gained popularity over the last few years. Of course, that is not to say that this gender identity is new or made up. We just didn't have the words to describe this particular gender identity before. When many demigender people come out to friends or family, end quote. When many demigender people come out to friends or family, they are met with confusion. This is simply because demigender is a relatively new term, as the quote said, and many people haven't taken the time to educate themselves about it. We can solve this problem on both sides. Demigender people can be patient with their loved ones and answer all their questions, and everyone else can do their research or watch videos like this in order to be more supportive to demigender people and the queer community in general. Hello and welcome to Art for Change, Day 9, Genderqueer. Genderqueer is the umbrella term for anyone who feels that their gender does not fit into the traditional gender binaries. According to Very Well Health's article, Genderqueer, meaning discrimination support, asking and correctly using someone's pronouns is one way of showing respect for their identity. When someone is referred to with the wrong pronoun, it can make them feel disrespected and invalidated. End quote. They also mentioned a study on the topic. They state, quote, a study analyzing data from the 2008 National Transgender Discrimination Survey found that genderqueer people face discrimination and violence at a similar and sometimes even higher rates than binary transgender people. Among the survey respondents who identified as genderqueer, 76% said they were unemployed, 32% suffered physical assault, 31% experienced harassment from law enforcement, 36% reported foregoing health care treatment due to fear of discrimination, end quote. So how do we support these people? Well, one way is to be aware that the way they express their gender may differ from day to day. This shows you that you support these people no matter what they look like. You could also try giving to the nonprofit It Gets Better. They connect genderqueer people with others like them and help them before they reach crisis. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to Art for Change, Day 10, Bigender. A bigender person is a person whose gender identity is a combination of more than one gender, or is sometimes one gender and sometimes another gender. Bigender people may flip from one gender to another, which can cause extreme discomfort in their body, as demonstrated by an excerpt from a Radiolab interview. Paige Abendroth says, I would have those feelings again where I thought I was supposed to be female, except there isn't anything subtle about it. It was a very strong feeling that something had gone terribly wrong and I was not supposed to be male. This flipping can cause discrimination with others because of confusion about which way they are leaning. Another piece of oppression that comes to bigender people is not having the right markers/name on their documents. This is simply because we don't have the option to put a gender-neutral marker on official documents. Advocate for gender-neutral options in the government and in the general public, and try donating to PFLAG, a charity working towards a more educated future. Bye for now. Hello and welcome back to Art for Change, Day 11, Pansexual. A pansexual person is sexually or romantically attracted to people regardless of their sex or gender. An issue that affects pan people is pan youth are the most likely to consider or attempt suicide. This can be solved by supporting pansexual people's identity and being kind. states, quote, "Despite society deeming me lacking in life, I am full of love. I am loved and I am loved. The other stuff doesn't matter to me. Isn't that what life is for?" Unquote. This brings me to how to help this oppression. The best way to help is to be supportive and inclusive, no matter who they love and how they love. Some popular figures in the world today that are in our base include Jamie Animations, who is a popular animations YouTuber, and Alice Grossman, who is the author of the best-selling graphic novel series Heartstopper. Today's charity is the Youth and Air Advocacy Project. So go take a look at that. Bye for now. Well, hello and welcome to Art for Change Day 13, Polysexual. I can't believe it. This is the last Art for Change video with new information. Tomorrow will be a week 2 compilation and we'll be looking at viewer art. So let's get into Art for Change Day 13. So a polysexual person is someone who is attracted to many but not all genders. This is not to be confused with polyamorous, which is someone who is in a relationship with multiple people at once. The main oppression that comes to polysexual people is identity invalidation. Some stereotypes that come to them are the idea that they can't make up their mind or are greedy. This causes extreme stigma around being polysexual. Some ways to help polysexual people are respecting their choices and making sure they know they're loved. Today's charity is Paves, so go check that out. Bye for now.